Hi again. Um, I'm just gonna put a link to that John Levy, I think is how you say his name. Um, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with his work, and this video in particular, he's got a surprise at the end showing people a part of the planet that you normally wouldn't even get to see, and it's pretty cool. Or just like skip to the last 5 minutes if you're bored with him exposing what's been done to the whole planet. But besides that, he does really, really good work. Like a lot of people have been trying to do the same thing in our own ways. So, um, yeah, I would say it's like I don't always watch them, but this one was really wonderful because I've been to a lot of these places. You know, but seeing aerial views of different parts of the planet are an important thing. They really are like giant clues, if it can be trusted at all. But I don't know. Who knows, right? We can't physically prove anything, and it kind of is, yeah, we're speculating, but I don't know. It just seems that more people literally have their eyes open and are not only watching the bad that's going on in this world, actively participating against it. So I would say, and then I saw where they're rioting in Chicago and everything. And I think I mean, they were using like a tree branch and going after like several squads. There must have been 10, 20 squads there and about maybe 100 CRs, if you know what I mean. You know, um, I they're gonna poke what, like a 12-foot branch at a cop car and throw rocks, and uh it just looks so orchestrated. But just tomfoolery, you know. Like I've said all along, they tear it down and rebuild it, and anything that happens when you're insured, you can replace it. And if it's for the people, especially the people that have deep pockets, um, then they'll do basically doing what they want to do when they want to do it. That's got to end. Um, the riches of the earth have been, I mean, even in, I believe, like a lot of people believe, that this is where the city of gold was. America has been raped by several different countries, but namingly, well, I guess I'm not gonna put a just a specific spot for the dark forces that are greedy. I guess there doesn't need to be one singled out area, um, but there is a certain, not the Rothschilds. They're very far removed from the actual hidden bloodline. Seriously, so you know. Yeah, one stems basically, well, like current era is what they call it, from if you just say Czechoslovakia and Sicily. There you go. How did I come up with that? Well, that's the whole story. Originating in the Far East, and going down into Africa and then up and around and all over the place like a bunch of crazy people. And they never should have even came to the Americas, but they were greedy, and that's what's going on. They're raping the Americas and taking it over on the other side of the planet. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it's crazy. They're making it look like there's wars and stuff going on with their own bloodlines within their own um, related countries, like just as much as Wisconsin is related to me, you know, Russia and Czechoslovakia, or the Ukraine, or Ukraine and Russia, or China and Russia, you know. So, but yeah, and I do know what I'm talking about for how they traveled around. That's something I really, really had the opportunity to study. Nobody studied it for me. Just because I had access to stuff doesn't mean that I didn't put in the work, you know. It's like, and then I shared a lot of it, and a lot of it was forced to be put out here on this internet because of me, because I don't back down. This is, if some of you don't know, I was adopted into a Masonic family, and the last thing they shouldn't have tried to do was control me, because only God guides my feet, you know. So, and my mind and my heart. So that was their biggest mistake in their minds, or their lack of mind, you know. And I divorced my own parents and went on my own. So I'm not just sitting here complaining like, oh, and then still sucking up to them. No. So I what they were willing to give wasn't worth the sacrifices, you know. And yeah, they're twisted and control freaks, and they think that they are better than everybody. There's a whole society of like 160 groups, including churches, and well, actually about 6,000 or more, actually, not just um as far as churches. There's millions and millions that are all affiliated with the dark force, and some in the church know and some don't, of course. Some are unaware for various reasons, you know. But so they're probably getting tormented wherever they live, you know. Speaking of churches, my friend Darla Lama put out a really cool, it's spelt like llama, but look her up. She's got a really good video on a burnt out church up in Canada. And the most remarkable structure, actually, but the most remarkable thing of the whole thing that freaked me out was the bell they had on a pedestal that had looked like it fell and probably cracked, and maybe they built around it right where it was. I don't know, but it was, or maybe it was in that circular part, because my church when I was a kid, it wasn't as big as this Saint Raphael, but it looked similar. It had a bell tower, and then we put a modern part on it too. Like, was like the whole front was like glass, and glass on the other side was sort of like I don't know, lots of, and stained glass windows were remarkable in my church when I was a kid. So I still follow it on Facebook, but it's where I was confirmed, and my adopted dad was confirmed there, and so it's kind of a special place to me. So, right about 3 blocks from where Prince grew up, but he went to the church my adopted mom went to, which was on a street called Penn Avenue, and it was a Methodist church that she went to when she was a kid. But yeah, Minneapolis. So, yeah. But I don't miss it down there at all. I like living up north, out in the country, and you know. And although I, my friends and I were separated, we do have the same hearts and spirit inside us, guiding us. And that's the coolest thing that YouTube has done for everybody, I think, is made it made gave us the ability to see each other's faces in these hard times where the forces of evil and even ancestry and where people moved had separated us in the biggest Tower of Babel, you know, totally all over the planet, you know. Just think, look at it like this. It feels lonely sometimes, and you got kidnapped. You were bamboozled and fooled, tricked right into it. But don't fret. We're doing this together. That's something I don't like people when they're like, we're all in this together. No, we're not. You're in it with yourself, and then there's the rest of us, you know. Or we're in it with God, and then there's the rest of them, you know. That's more like it. Even if you're helping them, they aren't going to know it, you know. So you just got to keep trying to. But yeah, don't back down and stand your ground. Don't take any guff from these clowns. But yeah, be as respectful as you can. But sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you just got to, like they'd say out in Montana, this is where the cow ate the calf, you know. Today sent around, I used to milk cows once in a while by hand. Um, my own, when I was out on a ranch, I got my own cow and, you know, fed a lot of cattle, but and chickens and um, got like a whole pig and whatever we wanted um, butchered, you know. I wasn't into the pig, but my ex was more, you know, just whatever. I like bacon, you know, not a whole bunch, but kind of. If it's a good one, you know. Like it almost burnt. Oh, speaking of food, last night I made a really nice round roast and beef, and I'm gonna make beef and cheddars like a Arby's, or maybe just cold with lettuce on it tonight, something like that, and root beer floats. So last night I just had beef with just a little 57 sauce. I thought about making like a salad or English muffins, but I'm still like in a muscle building phase after having broken bones, a couple different spots, different accidents, and different things. Um, Too much to go over. Don't want to. I'll go through it again sometime when I get a few more subs, and I feel in my heart I will someday. Um, you know, just feel it. There's something that I've got to say that I haven't quite said yet, but I got a lot to say always, but it depends on who I'm talking to. I'm pretty quiet, and you know, it's like Who are we talking to, you know? Are we talking to somebody that's well, like if it were somebody that listens, which I've never listened to a whole song of a pop artist called Billie Eilish, I think is her name. Well, that's cool. Their generation, whatever. But it didn't never strike me that it led me into it isn't even the generation. There's good music what I'll come, but something always kind of stopped me, like it just like same with Taylor Swift, or there's just a few of them, like I don't know, there's a essence of like soulless or brain deadness or something really odd about it that doesn't even spark my interest, you know? I don't know. Or maybe I heard bits of their stuff and I'm like, kind of like Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball. It's like, oh, get out of here. Why don't you swing right out of here? Thank you. Let me help you. Like a tether ball. That's better, man. Could you imagine? That'd be fun. What if little demon babies are tiny, their necks go around like really tiny people, and you could put them on a tether ball and send them flying? Like, you better hang on. I seen you weren't nice to that little old man on the street. Hang on, baby, you're going for a ride. Smack. You know, tetherball is fun. I love volleyball and badminton and tennis and basketball, hockey, all kinds of stuff. You know, it's fun. You know, I'd do things if there was somebody around me, like even play frisbee or something, till I felt like I was gonna die. I mean, it'd be fun. A few throws, you know. So I don't know, it'd be fun. But we do have a neighbor that has that disc golf, and it's like, and they have a golf cart, and they drive right up by our fence line. When they have more acreage, they could just move over. So we didn't like, oh, it's, but I prayed for a lot of rain to fill up my creek, and it also fills up the little pond where that one thing is right by my yard with water, and it's impossible to drive through there when it's like that. So there you go. You know, and thinking about that does work, believe me. So all my friends up in Canada, just remember, we're pulling with our minds Pacific air from the Caribbean, and we're just making it loop around the Gulf of Mexico and go up the west coast of the United States, way up to Alaska, to Siberia. Just pull it up there with your minds, and then we'll suck it inland, and we'll show these little freaks global warming. We'll maybe move the ocean in a little ways too. You know, they'll see it coming. Don't worry. They'll get out of the way. They'll run to the mountains. You know, and you say, what if they don't? Well, God will take them. And they, true, there's a third of the people that'll be wiped out. Maybe they all belong to Satan. You know, maybe only the strong survive. Or maybe God wants some of his kids with him, like a big bunch for a future project. Who knows, right? So, well, I'm going to get this uploaded. I love and appreciate you all, and wish you a good night or day wherever you're at. God bless you. Peace. I love you. Thank you.